Hi, I was just wondering if you could do two favors.
Well, what are they?
Taking me to the nearest police station.
911, tell me exactly what's happened.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help.
Does he know his mom's name?
Ruby Franke is his mom's name.
Hey guys, it's me, back with a story that's been keeping me up at night. I'm sitting here, coffee in hand, heart racing, because this one hits hard. Ruby Franke was a Utah mom who had it all. 6 kids, a loving husband, and a YouTube channel, 8 passengers with 5 million subscribers eating up her wholesome family vlogs. She was the mom we all thought we knew, the one who seemed to have parenting figured out. But on August 30th, 2023, her 12-year-old son Russell ran from a house of horrors, exposing a truth that broke my heart, and it's gonna break yours too. Ruby, alongside her mentor Jody Hildebrandt, turned her home into a nightmare of abuse, starvation, and fear. This isn't just a crime story, it's about kids betrayed by the person who should have protected them most. Content warning, we're diving into heavy stuff, physical and emotional abuse that's tough to hear. If it's too much, I've got resources like the National Child Abuse Hotline in the description. Stick with me for 3 chapters as we peel back the layers of Ruby's fall, the kids who survived, and a system that let them down. Hit subscribe, take a deep breath, and let's unravel this together. Let's go back to 2015. I can still picture Ruby Franke's 8 Passengers channel popping up on my feed. Her with her 6 kids, Shari, Chad, Abby, Julie, Russell, and Eve. They lived in Springville, Utah, in a big cozy house, filming their life as a tight-knit Mormon family. Ruby was the star, organized, cheerful, always ready with a homeschooling tip or a family game night idea. Her husband, Kevin, a soft-spoken engineering professor at Brigham Young University, was the perfect sidekick. But then things started feeling off. I remember scrolling through comments on one video where Ruby refused to bring lunch to her 6-year-old daughter, Eve, who forgot it at school. Ruby's words? She needs to feel hungry to learn. I mean, come on, that's not discipline, that's cruel. Then there was Chad, her 15-year-old son, who got in trouble for some typical teen stuff. Ruby's punishment? She took away his bedroom for 7 months. He slept on a beanbag, his humiliation filmed for the world. I felt sick watching it. Fans did too. Hundreds flooded the comments. Some even called Utah's Child Welfare Services, begging them to check on the kids, but nothing happened. Why? I keep asking myself that. By 2022, Ruby's world was shifting. She met Jody Hildebrandt, a licensed therapist from Ivins, Utah, who ran Connections Classroom, a program that promised to fix families and relationships. Jody wasn't your average counselor. Back in 2010, she got in trouble for forcing a teen client to sleep outside and calling them evil. That's a red flag the size of Utah, right? But Ruby was hooked. She started working with Jody, co-hosting Moms of Truth on Instagram and a YouTube channel, Connections, pushing this intense, almost cult-like parenting philosophy. Discipline was love, they said. Obedience was salvation. Ruby's family saw her change. Her sister later said she was delusional, like Jody had rewired her brain. Kevin was pushed out. Jody convinced Ruby to separate from him in July 2022, and he moved out. Ruby's journal, which police later found, is where it gets really dark. She wrote about her kids as if they were possessed, calling Russell a compulsive liar and Eve manipulative. She talked about breaking the bond Satan made. It's the kind of stuff that makes your stomach turn. 8 Passengers videos slowed down, and YouTube eventually pulled the channel for reasons they never fully explained. Neighbors noticed Ruby's younger kids left alone, and her eldest daughter, Shari, started sounding alarms. But still, no one stepped in. That's what haunts me. How did it get this far? Let's find out what happened next. Okay guys, this chapter is rough. I'm choking up just thinking about it, but we need to talk about it. Chapter 2, A Nightmare Unveiled. On August 30th, 2023, Ruby's 12-year-old son, Russell, did something so brave it still gives me chills. He climbed out a window of Jody Hildebrandt's house in Ivins, Utah, and ran to a neighbor's door, begging for help. When the neighbor saw him, they froze. Russell was a skeleton, his wrists and ankles wrapped in duct tape, his body covered in deep, oozing wounds.
Wrapped around him, and underneath the duct tape was saran wrap wrapped around both of his legs, and on both the wrists were the same.
Some so bad his skin was peeling off. He asked for food and water, his voice barely a whisper, saying he thought it was his fault. The 911 call from that neighbor, I listened to a clip, and it's like a knife to the heart. He's emaciated, they said. He's terrified. Police rushed in and found Ruby's 10-year-old daughter, Eve, inside the house.
We get to the front door. Police officers, open up! We're just gonna send the officer. Hey, you okay? Is it just you in here? It looks scared. The child looks scared.
She was malnourished too, curled up, scared out of her mind. Both kids were taken to the hospital, and what investigators uncovered was pure horror. From May to August 2023, Jody's home wasn't a home, it was a prison. I'm gonna lay out what happened, but I promise to keep it respectful, because Russell and Eve deserve that. Physical torture. Russell was tied up with ropes and handcuffs, kicked and held underwater by his own mom. Eve was forced to jump into a cactus over and over and run barefoot on burning dirt roads until her feet blistered. Their wounds were smeared with this awful mix of cayenne pepper and honey that burned their skin. Starvation. Both kids were denied food and water for days at a time. Russell got in trouble for sneaking sips of water like it was a crime.
He's emaciated, he's got tape around his legs, he's hungry, and he's thirsty.
They had no beds, no proper clothes, no schooling, just endless punishment. Emotional cruelty. Ruby and Jody told Russell and Eve they were evil and possessed by Satan. Ruby's journal is heartbreaking to read. She called Russell a compulsive liar with a cold, dead heart and Eve manipulative. She wrote about breaking Satan's bond through abuse, like it was her mission. Prosecutors called Jody's home a concentration camp-like setting. The kids were forced to do grueling work, carrying heavy boxes, holding wall sits for hours, in Utah's scorching summer heat barefoot, no protection. Their sunburns were so bad their skin sloughed off. Ruby and Jody justified it with this twisted religious logic, claiming they were saving the kids' souls from evil. They leaned on extreme beliefs, misusing Mormon teachings, but the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was clear. This wasn't their faith. It was abuse, plain and simple. Here's what gets me. Russell and Eve are fighters. Russell's escape wasn't just about saving himself. He saved his sister too. They're in therapy now, living with relatives, trying to piece their lives back together. That kind of strength from kids so young, it's humbling. But how did the system let them down for so long? And what happened to Ruby and Jody? That's where we're going next. We're at the final chapter, and it's a big one. Justice and a broken system. On that August day in 2023, when Russell ran for help, police arrested Ruby Franke and Jody Hildebrandt on the spot. They were hit with 6 counts each of aggravated child abuse, second-degree felonies under Utah law, and child endangerment. 4 of Ruby's 6 kids were placed in state custody. Her 2 eldest, Shari and Chad, were adults by then, living on their own. But imagine getting that call about your mom and siblings. It's unthinkable. The case moved fast. By September, police released search warrant details that turned my stomach. Ropes, handcuffs, bloody gauze, that cayenne pepper paste, all found in Jody's house. In December 2023, Ruby and Jody took plea deals, pleading guilty to 4 counts of aggravated child abuse each, with 2 counts dropped. Ruby's confession broke me. She admitted to tying up Russell, holding his head underwater, starving both kids. Jody confessed too. But her jail calls were chilling. She said things like, making a kid sleep on the floor isn't abuse. I mean, how do you even justify that? On February 20, 2024, in St. George's 5th District Court, Judge John Walton sentenced them to 4 consecutive 1 to 15-year terms each, up to 30 years under Utah law. Ruby cried in court, saying Jody led her into a dark delusion and thanking police for saving her kids. Jody's statement was colder, talking about the kids healing but barely owning her role. They are now in Utah State Correctional Facility with parole possible in December 2026. Jody's therapy license was revoked and her connections program gone. Kevin Franke, Ruby's husband, wasn't charged. He'd been separated since 2022, cut off by Jody's influence. He filed for divorce in November 2023, finalized in March 2025, and got custody of his minor kids. Kevin's been honest about his mistakes, saying, "Kids can't consent to being filmed." He and his daughter Sherry fought for a new Utah law in 2025, requiring family vloggers earning over $150,000 a year to put 15% of profits into a trust for their kids, accessible at 18. Kids can also ask to have their content removed. It's a start, but it's not enough. This case hit like a tidal wave. Hulu's 2025 docuseries Devil in the Family showed how social media and extremism twisted Ruby's mind. Shari Franke called out projects like the 2024 Lifetime movie Mormon Mom Gone Wrong for exploiting their story without helping the victims. She's right, this isn't a soap opera, it's real kids' lives. Russell and Eve are in therapy, living with family, facing a long road to healing. Their courage is what keeps me going. And it's about life coaches like Jody pushing dangerous ideas. In January 2025, a former Connexions client's husband sued them, calling their program a fraud that endangered kids. This case is a wake-up call, and we can't look away. Here's the hook that still got me thinking. This isn't just about Ruby and Jody, it's about a system that ignored years of warning signs. Fans reported 8 passengers to child services, but nothing happened until Russell ran. It's about YouTube profiting off kids' lives without oversight. And it's about life coaches like Jody pushing dangerous ideas. In January 2025, a former Connexions client's husband sued them, calling their program a fraud that endangered kids. This case is a wake-up call, and we can't look away. I'm sitting here honestly shaken, thinking about Russell and Eve, their strength, surviving a mom who became their worst nightmare. It's humbling. This story isn't just true crime, it's a call to do better for kids. Family vlogging can hide abuse in plain sight, and we need to talk about it. What do you think? Should YouTube step up? Should we regulate family channels to protect kids? Drop your thoughts in the comments, but please keep it kind for Russell, Eve, and all survivors. If this moved you, hit that like button, share it, and subscribe for more stories that matter. Next week, we're diving into another case that'll hit you hard. Hit the bell so you don't miss it. If you or someone you know needs help, check the description for resources like the National Child Abuse Hotline. Thanks for being here, for caring about these kids. Let's keep their voices heard.